The ornate door of a Belgravia townhouse closes quietly behind the keys, a property once held as investment, a sale that reveals distress. Behind the facade of one of London's most privileged postcodes lies a story of royalty, debt, and reinvention. Before we dive in, there's something I need to share with you. Over the past few days, thousands have watched these stories unfold, but most haven't subscribed. If you're one of them, I invite you now to join us. Subscribe to Crownverse so you never miss the next chapter in this unfolding royal history. It begins in high society. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, once lived a life seemingly untouched, royalty's second tier, yet glamorous. She married Prince Andrew in 1986, became the Duchess of York, bore 2 daughters, and enjoyed the privileges of Windsor, privilege and patronage. The wedding was a celebratory event, the title a symbol of status, the future wide open. Over the years, however, the narrative shifted. Divorce in 1996 removed the formal marital bond, but not the public fascination or the shared residence that followed. Sarah and Andrew continue to live at Royal Lodge in Windsor, an arrangement that keeps the Royal Association alive, even when the official duties have long since faded. In recent times, the facade has cracked further. Media reports reveal that in August 2025, Sarah sold her Belgravia townhouse for approximately £3.85 million, a loss of roughly £400,000 compared with what she paid 3 years earlier. The Standard plus Geo.tv. The property was originally purchased as investment for her daughters, according to public statements. But the sale raises deeper questions. Why now? What does this tell us about her financial position and the royal proximity she continues to hold? Add to this list the fallout of charity associations. Several organizations terminated partnerships with the Duchess following revelations of her email to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein in 2011, where she called him a supreme friend. Those links, once dormant, have resurfaced and damaged her public standing. This is not merely about the sale of a London house. It is about a period of recalibration, of how royalty without formal duties adapts when scandal, debt, and shifting status converge. Let's unpack the structural view of her finances. Documents show Sarah endured substantial financial difficulty. As early as 2010, she faced millions in debt. Business ventures floundered. Privilege faded. Her royal connection remained, the last anchor in a changing world. The Belgravia sale stands out. Belgravia, one of London's most exclusive districts, has seen values soften. Property experts say such homes are still down significantly from their 2014 peaks. Selling a flagship investment at a loss suggests urgency. A statement from her spokesman claimed the property was an investment for her girls and funds would be reinvested. Yet other reports suggest the proceeds may help offset the costs of Royal Lodge, the 30-room mansion she shares with Andrew, where the upkeep is significant. What does Royal Lodge represent? A royal residence, leased from the Crown, held by Andrew until 2078 under certain conditions. Living there, Sarah retains proximity to royalty even as Andrew's public role recedes. That proximity carries weight, social status, access, identity, but it also carries cost. The question becomes, why does Sarah stay? What motivates continued residence, continued association with Andrew, when the official title and full privileges have long since departed? Several explanations emerge. First, loyalty and love. Sarah has said publicly she was totally and utterly in love with Andrew and would marry him again 100%. That emotional commitment is genuine, as far as public statements go. Her voice remains consistent. But love alone may not explain the continued proximity when the costs are so evident. Second, status and relevance. When you move out of frontline royalty, the options narrow. A life of titles, visibility, and privilege can fade quickly. By staying with Andrew, Sarah retains a visible link to the royal institution. Pictures of them leaving church together, living in royal lodge, still appearing at certain functions, these maintain currency. Third, financial security. Though divorced, Sarah's budget has faced severe strain. A high-profile divorce settlement can fade, business ventures can flounder, and debt can mount. A house sale at a loss, charity relationships ended, and a need for liquidity suggest that maintaining the status quo, royal link and home, may be more practical than abandoning it. Fourth, mutual convenience. For Andrew, whose public role collapsed amid scandal, maintaining a domestic structure with Sarah presents continuity. For Sarah, the arrangement preserves what many ex-royals lack: a ready platform, a connection to Windsor, and the brand that accompanies the surname of York. None of these motives stand alone. The reality is likely a complex mixture of emotion, strategy, and survival. And importantly, Sarah herself has not publicly declared a singular motive. That ambiguity is part of the picture. We can examine some interpretive markers. In 2025, the title relinquishments occurred. Andrew declared he would stop using Duke of York. Sarah agreed to drop Duchess of York. On paper, the titles vanish, but in practice, the residence, the shared appearance, the royal account remain. That indicates a shift in style rather than a full break. At the same time, the financial pressures rise. A high-profile London home sold at a loss, charity patronage is lost, press attention reignited by old emails, a shady investment history. Each element alone might be manageable. Together, they paint a picture of contraction, recalibration. Consider this. When a high-profile property is sold under market value, amid a downturn, to meet costs, it signals urgency. When a royal becomes removed from patron roles and must explain property disposal, it suggests vulnerability. When an ex-duchess remains living in a sprawling Windsor estate despite no formal duties, it hints at complexity of ties beyond marriage. From palace vantage, the problem is reputational. Andrew's links to Epstein, his withdrawal from public royal duty, his decision to relinquish titles, all add strain on the institution. Sarah's visibility alongside him, her own financial collapse, her ruined patron relationships, these amplify the risk. The Crown appears to favor reducing exposure, and Sarah's continued presence, while tolerated, may be at odds with the simplified, streamlined monarchy William, Charles, and others are pursuing. What does this mean for the future of her finances, her status, and her connection? If Sarah remains at Royal Lodge, she retains the royal link, but the value of that link may be declining. Without official role, without title usage, without clear public purpose, it becomes symbolic. Symbols have cost. The upkeep of such a home is high. The market value of central London investment properties is uncertain. Her sale of the Belgravia property may provide short-term liquidity, but it also removes a revenue asset. If the proceeds go towards maintaining Royal Lodge, It raises the question, what remains to sustain Sarah's long-term independence? Her daughters, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, continue in their own paths, yet the investment was originally for them. A cascade effect could mean that maintaining status becomes the goal rather than building financial independence. We should also consider risk. The ongoing fallout from charity exclusions, old emails, and association with Andrew means Sarah operates under constant scrutiny. A single misstep can further erode her public position. For someone whose identity once centered on being Duchess of York, the transition to former royalty requires reinvention. That reinvention demands resources,